This is the school food waste and composting training. Let's dive in with Corey, the compost worm.
Run through quickly what the New Hampshire regulations are. New Hampshire has been wanting to work on renovating, rewriting their regulations for organic waste disposal and composting operations. They have not had the staff to do it yet, but they do have the desire. So at the moment, they ban leaf and yard waste from the landfill, but not food waste. There are 260 permitted solid waste facilities, and that's including the transfer stations, composting systems, landfills, recycling centers. 134 take yard waste. New Hampshire has 5 landfills. Some are municipal though, so 3 of them are municipal and only 2 are considered sort of private. They call it private because it's like a hauler, like a waste management is one, Casella is another, that own the landfill. So they're taking waste from across the border, from anyone and everyone that wants to bring the waste to their facility, whereas the municipal ones, they have agreements with their town and maybe a few of the surrounding towns to use their landfill. And they do that because they want to extend the life of their landfill. And so the stars on that map show the location of the 5 landfills. And then they have 5 permitted commercial compost facilities, all of which are somewhat limited because of New Hampshire's rules and regulations. So they have a 3-tiered permitting structure. Permit exemptions are your on-site processing. That's processing that is generated on-site. So that's your schools, your farms, your backyard composters. You can get a permit by notification. It's an application for a waiver. And, you know, it's fairly simple. It's only a couple pages. I filled out a few for New Hampshire communities that wanted to do community composting in their town. And so this permit by notification, it has to be under 30 tons a day. You cannot take meat or dairy. The source of the food waste, it's limited to retail food outlets, institutions, food processing operations, etc. And you can take residents in. That's what the community composters started wanting to do. And then the waiver allows for the residential food waste, including meat and dairy. You, again, with any of these applications, the state will walk you through it, and you do have to demonstrate the criteria, like provide a full explanation of why you believe that having the waiver granted will meet the below listed criteria. A lot of transfer stations are looking into using this as well. You have to certify that each of the states was listed. You know, again, just managing it correctly. It's a 4-page application. And then you have your standard permit, and that's over 30 tons a day. And this is like doing a landfill or a transfer station if you're looking at getting over 30 tons a day. They're very helpful at the NHDES if you have any questions. Schools are pretty lucky. You can fall under the permit exemption number 1 most often, and only number 2 if you really want to start taking in some residential food waste for your community. I would say stick with number 1 and have it a system that you can manage on site.